Hey, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good to see you guys here. Facebook Live, Instagram Live, YouTube Live. It is May the 5th, 2021, and you're still here. Man, that's a praise all in itself. Cinco de Mayo. Is that right, ladies? That's what it is?
Yeah.
Yes.
When I was younger, boy, Cinco de Mayo meant something. I used to run them streets, but now it's just
Yeah,
me.
they Cinco de Drinko.
Yeah, now I'm older, I'm wiser, and so it's just May 5th. But welcome to the Ralph Graves Jr. Show, Unstoppable program. We are here on this beautiful, beautiful May 5th morning. And we're going to continue on in what we did not finish last week. We were talking about the 13 things that mentally strong people don't do. And we got through like 9 of them or something like that. And so I want to dive into the next 4, and we're going to spend an hour talking about them. But we do have a great show for you today. Share it with somebody. I hope you learn something. I hope you grow from this program. My name is first time we met. My name is Ralph Graves Jr. I pastor the Cornerstone Community Church in Millville, New Jersey. Been there 15 years now. And God has allowed me several platforms, and this is one of them. Wrote a book called Unstoppable, 7 universal laws that will change the way you, that will transform the way you pursue and achieve success. Go get that. That's at barnesandnoble.com. That's ralphgravesjr.com. Wherever fine books are sold, Barnes and Noble, you can go pick that up. It's still available. And you can go ahead and get that. I'm on every platform there is. LinkedIn. Where else am I? Twitter. I even have a TikTok.
Instagram.
Instagram. Yeah.
Website.
Website. Yeah. Thank you, Janae. Yeah. All over the place. Podcasts. Spotify. Anywhere you can find a podcast. So we have a podcast called the Unstoppable Podcast, and I have some great guests. You learn some great things, life transforming stuff. So I just want to say thank you. And I just want to say welcome to this program today. Good morning, Sister Joyce Smith. Thanks for checking it out. Thank you for being a faithful viewer of the program over there on Facebook Live. And if you're on YouTube Live and folks over there, thank you for being there. But anyway, good morning, co-host. Good morning, ladies. Good morning, Kayer. How are you?
Good morning. I'm well.
Very good, very good. Kayer has a 6th sense for us today. I can't wait to hear that question or that thing. Janae, good morning. How are you?
Good morning. I'm hungry.
Are you?
Yeah, I woke up early, but I didn't eat. I don't know.
Yeah.
I had time, and now I'm paying for it.
Yeah, I ate. I actually made myself a bowl of oatmeal. How about that? Actually made I wish we had some hand clapping sound effects.
Not for that.
Actually cooked for myself this morning. Guys, we're talking about 13 things that mentally strong people don't do. We have a question of the day as well. I want you to think about this question. Put the question up for me, Janae. The question of the day is this. You can dive right into that. Question of the day is, the most important component of a successful relationship is, what is it for you? What is it to you? The most important component of a successful relationship, whether it's business, whether it's romantic, whether it's just with people around you, a friend, your children, specifically adult children, as they become adults and you maintain a friendship. The most important component of a successful relationship. Talk about that today. So here we go. We are here. We also have a word of the day we'll get into after the break. Now, we left off last week. We left off around point. No, well, let's review. Right. I'm not going to go through all of them, but let's just review what some of the 13 things that mentally strong people don't do. Number 1 was they didn't waste time feeling sorry for themselves. Number 2 was they don't give away their power. Number 3, they shy away. They don't shy away from change. Number 4, they don't squander energy on things they can't control. That was a big one. Number 5, they don't worry about pleasing everyone. Because mentally strong people don't worry about that. Number 6, they don't have a fear of taking risks. Number 7, they don't dwell on the past. Number 8, they don't repeat mistakes. Mentally strong people don't repeat their mistakes. And number 9, they don't resent other people's successes. They do not resent other people's successes. Now, I wanted to start there because there are some reasons that you should celebrate other people's success. That's what I kind of want to just show you before we move on. There are some reasons why you should celebrate. Oh, I messed up. Why you should celebrate other people's success. If I find what they are, I'll share them with you. Okay, here we go. It's important that we celebrate other people's success. It's important. Here's a couple reasons why. Health. How about that? Satisfaction, success, willpower. These are some of the reasons why you should celebrate. If we celebrate other success as if it were our own, we could feel a huge surge of positivity and joy. That's for your good health. It's for your own health. So if I'm celebrating your success like it's my own, I'm going to feel this surge of positivity and joy, and it can lead to greater optimism. It can benefit my own health. Stop hating on other people's success. Matter of fact, be excited for them because it actually blesses you. Okay, mentally strong people don't have a problem with other people's success. Satisfaction. I messed up again. I keep hitting stuff on my iPad that's leading me to other places. How do you guys feel about that? Let's talk about that for a moment.
I thought of a selfish reason to support other people's success. Yeah, and I don't know what that means. That was my first reaction, was a selfish reason. I don't know. Pray for me. But if you celebrate other people's success, depending, they might give you something. they might invite you to the next party, or they might call you for their next project, or I don't know.
Yeah, and that's really not selfish. That's just
okay, good.
No, they're just knowing that you're really supporting what they're doing, and people like to be around other folks who support what they're doing, and they're knowing that you're handling it in a mature way. So yeah, I'm going to invite you to the next thing I got, or hey, listen, there's a room I think you need to be in.
Yeah.
No, so that's not selfish at all. That's not selfish at all. No. Yeah. But so it really does benefit us to celebrate the successes of other people, and you cannot be afraid to do that. You cannot be afraid. You cannot resent other people's success. All right, number 10 is where we're starting today. Number 10 of the 13 things that mentally strong people don't do. I don't even think I'm live over here on Instagram. Let me go live. I know they're probably. Oh, there it is. Okay, now I'm live on Instagram. Okay, all right. They don't give up after their first failure. They do not. Hey, what's happening, Instagram family? They do not give up on their first failure. 13 things that mentally strong people don't do is don't give up after their first failure. Let me say this about failure. There is no such thing as failure. Now, if you go over to you join my Unstoppable community over there on my website, we talk about there's no such thing as failure. It's only results. You don't fail anything. You just get the results. Hey, Glamour Girl 50, what's going on? You don't fail. You only have results. And so mentally strong people, they don't give up after their first, what we call, I call it the F word. Let's try to avoid the F word, failure. Some people avoid failure at all costs, and it unravels their sense of self-worth. Not trying at all or giving up after your first attempt will prevent you from reaching your potential. Here's what we learn from that F word, from failure. These particular actions or non-action caused this result. All right. So if I want a better result, I have to put together better actions. I have to put together a better plan. Personal life, professional life, relationship life, whatever it is, I can't give up after my first failure or after my just because I didn't get the results that I wanted at the time. You can see it in your diet. Hey, what's going on, Jersey girl? I think that's Felicia. That's you, Felicia. Congratulations on getting all your degrees there. Get degree number 2. If not, it's just very good opportunity to meet Jersey girl on there. But we're talking about we don't give up. Mentally strong people do not give up after their first failure. So you didn't lose the weight you wanted to lose the first time. You don't go back to eating a whole box of Oreo cookies. You just change your actions to get different results. Just because you didn't pass the class the first time, all right, the plan or what you were doing to pass the class didn't work out, you change that to produce different results. Mentally tough people, mentally strong people do not, hate to hear, do not give up. Brother Lomax, what's going on? I think that, hey, Pastor Bogan, how are you, sir? Do not give up after their first failure. Mentally strong people. That's what we're talking about today. We're talking about 13 things. I'm continuing on from last week. We're talking about 13 things mentally strong people don't do. They don't give up after their first failure. And Tahira, thanks. You know what? I was late getting on because I pressed the wrong button on Instagram Live. I'm sorry. So, but you're not missing anything. We're kind of reviewing what we did last week. 13 things that mentally strong people don't do. Does that make sense, ladies? Kayer? Does that make sense? We don't give up after our first failure?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if you give up, then you're not trying to, pursue your goals, and, it'll never work.
Yeah. So mentally strong people don't do that. They don't do that.
Last night, after work, I was on YouTube and I was looking up different hairstyle videos. I was watching hair videos, and I was like, oh, I could do this. And so I watched like 5 to 7 to 10 videos on how to do this thing. And I'm not good at doing my hair, but I always think that I could pull it off. And I tried to do these like jumbo knotless braids on myself, but I don't know how to add hair. Like I don't know how to braid, and I just was like, I'm gonna do it anyway. So last night I'm in the bathroom, got my hair all set up, everything's going, and I tried one, and I can't feed the hair in at the right spot. So like it's clearly different. Like it's not like blending. And I was like, okay, whatever. I'll just do another one. So I did another section of hair, same thing, and I did one more, and I was like, okay. I can't do this. But I didn't give up. I'm just gonna keep researching and see if there's a different method that I could possibly use. But that's how I ended up with this bun, because that's all I could do at the end of it all.
Yeah, you have to. You have to. You can't give up after the first failure. Hey, what's going on, Brian Sharp, man? Good to see you, man, on here. We're talking about 13 things that mentally strong people don't do. We're continuing from last week's program. All right. So we're and we talked about mentally strong people don't give up after their first failure. Remember, guys, don't use the F word so much. My nephew Tyler Gill's over there on Instagram. What's going on, Neff? Doing big things. Remember, there's no such thing as failure. There's only results. There's only results. Mentally strong people don't say, oh my God, I failed. They just said, no, I have to change my actions in order to get different results. All right. Stop using the F word if you're moving forward. People, you've heard it said 1,000 times that most people that start business, you're not really a businessman, businesswoman, entrepreneur, a pastor, whatever you're doing, unless you failed at, or unless you struggled through, unless you had about 5 or 6 failed businesses, and then you know what you're doing after a while. All right. So there's no such thing as failure. It's only results. The reason why I have programs like this, right? Let me say that. Let me say this to you. The reason why I present the Unstoppable podcast, Unstoppable programs, and things like this, you will have. It says this. We as human beings will have 50,000 thoughts today. 50,000 thoughts, and only about 10,000 of them are positive. So that's like what, 80%? Like 80% of your thought process is negative?
I feel like that's a negative statement.
But it's the real statement. You can call it a negative statement all you want. It's the real statement. And we know that our actions are driven by what? Or our inaction is caused by what? Thoughts. Man, I'm a Bible preacher, Bible teacher. That's why Paul said, let this mind be in you that was also in Christ Jesus, right? There's something about the way he thought. There's something about these human thoughts. And so when you mentally strong people don't give up, you've got to say to yourself, I'm not going to give up after this first try and I didn't get the results that I wanted to get. It might take 15, 20 tries. All right. So that's what we're talking about today. All right. Hey,
wait, I have a question just about like giving up after your first try.
Yeah.
Why would anyone think the first time they do anything, it will be the best thing that's ever happened? Like, where does that even come from?
Immaturity. Well, it's the way of our culture and our society. Everything is instant. There's an old Staples commercial back in the day where you push that instant button, the easy button. You think that everything is easy all the time. And we want it to be easy. Most human beings want to take the path of least resistance. And so we think that things are easy. So you start a t-shirt company and you get mad because your friends and family ain't supporting your t-shirt company or supporting whatever you're doing. And instead of growing and reaching and finding your audience, you quit because it was supposed to start the first time. It was supposed to happen for you the first time.
You didn't even learn to walk the first time you tried.
Right. So. Yeah. So and so we have to change that way of thinking that it's going to be easy, or that you won't fail at something, or you won't produce the results that you want the first time out. You will not produce the results you want the first time out. Pretty Pink Chocolate over Instagram Live said she had to move and start over. Yeah, sometimes you do. Sometimes you got to move and start over. In football, all my football people, you know what I'm about to say. It's called field position. Sometimes you have to punt. Why does a football team punt on fourth down? Right? They're not in the field position they want. So they punt the ball to change field position. And sometimes in life, it's the same way. Pretty Pink Chocolate says, listen, I had to move and start over. If that was a sports thing, that she punted. She punted. Sometimes you got to punt. But it's keeping the right mindset in it. Okay? Mentally strong people do not give up because they have not produced their results the first time out. They don't do that. All right. That's it. And thank you guys for chiming in on that. Pretty Pink Chocolate said on Instagram Live, she had to get away from people who were holding her back. Yeah. So that's all part of it. Mentally strong people don't do that. I have a question for the day. Here's the question of the day. I want you to think about it, and we'll take a break and we'll come back and maybe we'll talk about the question. The question of the day is this: what's the most important component of a successful relationship is what? The most important component of a successful relationship is what? Let's take a break and we'll come back with the rest of the show. I'm Ralph Grace Jr. You're watching the Ralph Grace Jr. Show. We'll be right back after these commercials over on Facebook Live and YouTube, Instagram. You hang in there with me right now. We'll talk behind the scenes.
Revive Hydration is a proud sponsor of the Ralph Graves Morning Show. Revive Hydration is the first IV hydration and vitamin infusion service in the South Jersey area. For more details, please visit their website at www.revivehydration.com, or you can give them a call at 856-485-0070. Again, their website, www.revivehydration.com, or give them a call at 856-485-0070.
With my children. Hey guys, Ralph Graves here. Thank you for coming to the website. Thank you for your interest in the Gulfstream Way. Now, don't hesitate. The Gulfstream Way will do three things. It'll grow you as a person. It'll grow you as a leader so that you can make impact in your world today. So do not hesitate. Jump right on it. I'll see you soon. Thanks. RalphGravesJr.com. Hey everybody, I was over on Instagram Live and I was just talking about the Ralph Graves, the unstoppable community at RalphGravesJr.com. Some great videos on there. We're growing each and every week. We're putting some new stuff on there. You can be part of the Unstoppable Book Club that we're launching there. You can talk more about that, and we'll talk more about that as the show goes on. But the question of the day is this, and Instagram is on fire over there. The ladies on Instagram Live. The most important component of a successful relationship is, they have said communication. Someone says have trust and faith and trust, honesty and loyalty. What say you guys over here on Facebook and over here on YouTube? What is the most important component of a successful relationship? Not just romantic, but any relationship, friends, family, parents. Sister Joy Smith says, honest communication coupled with mutual respect works for her. Okay, honest communication. Very good. What's the most important part, most important component of a relationship? Man.
Their submission to me.
Oh, stop it.
I would say, I guess trust.
Okay.
I think the rest of those things, for me, build off of trust.
All right. Kyer, what do you say? What do you say, Kyer?
Sorry, my phone's with me.
Most important component of a relationship.
Honestly, it's trust for me.
Okay.
Yeah, like trust and loyalty.
Trust it. Now, remember, guys, if that's what you're expecting from someone, you've got to give that. All right. The same thing that's important to you, you've got to give that. I'm just saying, my mom over here says love and respect. All right. I'm just saying, very good. That's the same things you got to give. You can't expect to get anything you ain't giving. So we'll continue to talk about that question today. The most important component of relationship for me is transparency, honesty. Yeah, they're very important. A lot of things you guys said. Let's just be transparent. Let's just tell the truth. Let's just tell the truth. Without attaching emotion to it, just tell the truth. Let's just be honest. Let's be transparent. Let's be transparent. Okay. So all those things are pretty good. And that's in any relationship, whether, like I said, whether it's romantic, whether it's business, whether it's all these things. Nicy Robinson checks in. Being relational is important components to a successful relationship. Okay. All right. Very good. Very good. Very good. What are the most important components of a successful relationship with you? What are they? Okay. We're talking about 13 things that mentally strong people don't do. And 10 was give up after the first failure. Number 11 is this. Watch this. This is what number 11. They don't fear alone time. You ever meet somebody who just can't stand to be by themselves? Mentally strong people do not fear alone time. They don't fear that. Solitude can sometimes feel unproductive for some. The thought of being alone with their thoughts to some people is downright scary. Most people avoid silence by filling days with a flurry of activity and background noise. There are some days I don't want to do nothing. I need to write. I need to be alone in my thoughts. I need to one-on-one time with God. I don't need no TV. I don't need no music. I don't want to hear from my kids. Only my wife know where I'm at. I just need that. Alone time is a central component to building mental strength. May is Mental Health Month, and I've done some work for the NAMI, National Alliance of Mental Health. I'm excited. You guys will see some videos and see a talk show as a part of. It'll be coming out later on this month. But alone time is a central component for building mental strength. And here's one of the things that experts say: carve out at least 10 minutes each day to gather your thoughts without distractions. Now, moms are sitting there like, you got to be kidding me. I can't go to the bathroom without my child knocking on the door, right? I remember my mom, and she's over on Instagram Live. I remember when I was a kid, me and my brother were like, Mom, she'd be like, she ain't here. Like, the house is on fire. Let it burn. She just wanted alone time. Mentally strong people do not fear alone time. Don't fear it. Don't fear alone time. All right? Don't fear. And watch this. Alone time might be a season. Like, some people can't. I'm married, but some people are dating and all that. Like, you can't go a season without having a boyfriend, girlfriend. No. Sometimes alone time is a season. I was explaining this. Kaya and I were talking, and we're talking about. And if you guys go to Cornerstone Community Church, we're talking. One of my sermons, I was talking about the backside of the desert. God had to separate Moses from everybody else to get a word to him. And this is where a lot of people don't like to be alone. This is where a lot of people fail. They fail in that separation season. There are seasons. It was a season in my life before God could move me to where I needed to be, to where I'm going today. He had to separate me from others. And some people can't take that separation, and they fall right back into what they were doing before, and they never achieve and never become who God called them to be. Right? And so when we talk about the components of relationship, one of those is honesty and transparency, where sometimes you got to tell some folks, listen, I need this moment, I need this season to be by myself. I need to be alone. I tease the women sometimes. Sometimes when your man says he ain't thinking about nothing, guess what? He ain't thinking about nothing. Leave him alone. We men can do that. We can absolutely have no thought about anything. Stop. What are you thinking about? Nothing. So don't fear. And all the men said, amen. Tell them, Pastor. And so don't fear. Mentally strong people do not fear alone time. They don't fear seasons of being alone, of gathering their thoughts, of remember, your life, my life, right now, where you are right now is the result of your thinking. So it's a result of your thinking. If there's not an action you do without a thought or non-thought first, right? So your thoughts lead to your actions get results, and you live out your results. You can tell what a person is thinking about by how they live. Now, I'm not telling you to whatever the case may be. Look at your own life. My life, where I am now, is a product of my thought. Where my wife is now, it's a product of where all of us are now is a product of our thinking process. Don't fear alone time, and get your thoughts together. Mentally strong people don't fear alone time. Questions, comments, concerns on that? Hey, what's up, Dawn? Good to see you. Anybody? Questions, ladies, about alone time? Are you good with alone time? Janae, I can't hear you. Muted yourself.
Oh, I did. I'm good with alone time, but I guess I could use it better.
Right.
Like, I'll just be like sitting there alone, but not doing anything or thinking about doing anything.
Same.
So
the same thing with you, Kaya?
Yes. Like, I don't have a problem with being alone. I mean, I do get bored sometimes, but for the most part, I'm fine. But I just don't do anything productive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just literally alone.
And this is why our culture suffers the way it does. You ask, how can somebody give up? How can somebody give up after their first time of trying something? Because we want it instantly, and then we don't use our alone time getting right. Felicia, Jersey Girl 777 over on Instagram Live says, I'm in the mental health field. Alone time is key to getting in touch with yourself. Yeah, I mean, you can't even love nobody right if you don't know who you are. You can't. You can't. Going back to the most important component in a relationship, truth, transparency, all that kind of stuff. Are you truthful with yourself? Are you transparent with yourself? Do you know who you are? Are you confident in who you are? Okay. Don't fear this alone time. Hey, we have a word of the day. We have a word. We are cruising right along. What's the word of the day, Janae? Put it on the screen. Odal. Odal, guys, is the word of the day. ODAL. Odal. It means absolute ownership that is beyond dispute and can never be revoked. Odal. Absolute ownership that is beyond dispute and can never be revoked. Now, you guys often say, well, why are we doing this word of the day? And I told you the history behind it. I very rarely win games of Scrabble with my wife, even as much as I read. And I think it has a lot to do with, she still gives me butterflies, so I lose a lot. But the word of the day is odal. Absolute. Now, if you can use this word in a sentence before we leave here, we'll give you 10 points. I don't know what those points are going to get you, but last week a couple people got it. So use the word odal in a sentence before we leave. Absolute ownership that is beyond dispute and can never be revoked. Odal. It's a noun. There you go. There you go. That's right, Dawn. Odal. 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 It's a noun. Dawn Mall says she loves using alone time better. And so, Dawn, how do you use your alone time better? Explain that, and we'll read your post as you put that up. Question of the day, guys, was Janae. Put the question of the day back up. The most important component of a successful relationship is what? Because I'm going to tell you this, man, I hate to go there, but I got to go there. There are going to be certain things in relationships that run out. All right. I say it all the time. Now, going back to romantic stuff, lust runs out. Lust can never do what love can do. All right. Lust runs dry. Lust runs dry. So there's going to have to be another component. Of that relationship to keep that relationship going. Oh, but it's great when we get together. Well, there are going to be moments you can't get together, won't get together. God forbid something happened and one can't get with the other. What will keep that relationship burning strong? What will keep that relationship burning strong? So when I ask you about the most important component of a successful relationship that's what I want you to think about. That's what I want you to think about. Don't think about the surface stuff. You got to go deeper into some things. Okay. All right. Got to go deeper into some things. Hey guys, if you haven't, go over to ralphgravesjr.com/community. Join the Unstoppable community. It is fire over there. We're having a good time over there. And thank you for the ones who have joined. Dawn Moss is over on there. Joyce Smith is over on there. Some of you, other names I can't call. Pam Widener just joined the Unstoppable community. Some other folks, and we have a good time. The Wallace family is over there, and we really are growing together and doing some great stuff. You can schedule a phone call with me. We'll tailor make a personal growth program for you. There is nothing more important than your personal growth. I'm telling you that right now. I'm telling you that. I'm telling you that. And of course, because I'm a pastor, we're going to talk about the importance of submitting yourself to a sovereign Lord at the same time. That's the most important thing to your personal growth. It is what it is. So check it out over there. Janae, what's the verse of the day, honey? You have to take yourself off mute again.
Right.
What's the
verse of the day is this verse. With triumph is possible, but it requires work. When you feel like giving up, remember who made you and go to 2 Samuel 22:30. With your help, I can advance against a troop. With my God, I can scale a wall. Get over yourself and get with God.
Get over yourself and get with God. Yeah, yeah. That's it. I mean, really, get over yourself. Get with God. Submit to what God has called you to be in your life. Because David wrote that in 2 Samuel. He said, God, by you, I can run against a troop. And by my God, I can leap over a wall. Because of this relationship I have with God, man, I can be all that God called me to be. So get in that. Remember John 3:16, for God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish, but have everlasting life. So get a relationship with God through his son, Jesus Christ. Pretty Pink Chocolate says over there, cut dating off. She says she cut dating off everyone. She focused on her for the first time in her life. How'd that turn out for you? I'm sure it turned out pretty good. Love to hear about it. Dawn Moss says this. I love what Janae said when she stated, I could use alone time better. I agree with that. I don't get alone time a lot. When I get it, I try to read, meditate, pray, eat better, exercise, and rest. I try to remove clutter from my mind. That's important for me. Self-motivation is my outcome each time. Then I set new goals. Thank you for sharing that. And Dawn is very successful at what she does. She is a managing partner at a very successful restaurant, Carolina's Kitchen, with branches all over the Metro, DC, Baltimore area. She's also, we call her the pet boss. She's also doing some great things with Navetica. So thank you for sharing that. Thank you for sharing your success tools. Thank you, Dawn, for that. All right. Number 12 of 13 things that mentally strong people don't do. They don't feel like the world owes them something. They don't feel like the world owes them a blessed thing. They don't feel like that. We like to think that if we put enough hard work in or tough it out through bad times, that we deserve success. But waiting for the world to give you what you think you're owed isn't a productive life strategy. It's not a productive life strategy. It's not. Take notice of the times when you feel as though you deserve something better. Intentionally focus on all that you have to give rather than what you think you deserve. Are you giving what you can give rather than worrying about what you deserve? Regardless of whether you think you've been dealt a fair hand in life, you have gifts to share with others. In other words, mentally successful people have an outward focus. They focus on what they have to give. See, life is going to give you things, but the more you give, that's the law of reciprocity over there in my book, Unstoppable, if you haven't read it, right? No one owes you more than you. You're right, Joyce Smith. And the world really doesn't owe you anything. The world doesn't owe you anything. I'm over on Instagram Live. They chatting it up over here. Jersey Girl said, yeah, talk about it. Pretty Pink Chocolate says, doing well, saving my money, trying to stay healthy, writing my goals down, and praying more. Tara Jefferson, that's real. This entitlement thing is crazy. It is crazy. People actually think they're entitled to some things. Now, I don't know if it's because we raised a generation like that, or we're so used to the handout that we never take time to developing who we are. We think that the world doesn't owe you anything. Doesn't owe you anything. In the church, we like to say Jesus paid it all. So Jesus paid it all. So the world don't owe you anything. So what are you going to contribute to the world around you? We are so focused on elevation, right? We think when I talk growth, we think that means upward. Let me tell you the truth. Growth means outward. When I talk personal growth, I'm not talking about your elevation. I'm talking about growing outward and impacting more people and pressing out and touching lives in a positive way. That's growth. Elevation comes whenever it comes. But when I talk about growth, a lot of times we look at growth, we think of the plants that we have and look at this beautiful plant my wife has in the house. But when I talk about personal growth, we're talking about outward growth. We're talking about how many lives are benefited because they know me. How many lives am I impacting? Am I making someone's days better, or am I making it worse? Now, that has nothing to do with how people treat me. I'm not in charge of how people treat me. I'm in charge of how I treat other people. That's what I'm in charge of. If you've been following this program at all, we talk about no one can make you mad. No one can make you upset. That's just an emotion that you attach to the circumstance. Again, that's under my control. You can't upset me unless I attach that emotion to what you just said or did. I did that. Same thing with you. So when you walk around and you getting upset and this, that, and the other, you just attach an emotion to what someone did or said. That's why you got to be careful of the videos you watch. That's why you got to be careful of the movies you watch. Why you got to be careful. And I said this before. I don't watch movies that have to deal with Black trauma, especially. I'm a Black man in the United States of America. I don't watch movies that have to deal with Black trauma. Oh, you're not supporting Black cinema. Ain't got nothing to do with supporting Black cinema. It has everything to do with supporting my mindset. I don't need to see no more trauma. I'm just being honest with you. I would love to see a rom-com, with some African Americans in it. I would love it. But so I decide on what I see. I decide on what I attach emotion to. And so if I'm going to make impact on the world, it's about me reaching out, not about me looking for my next hand up. The world doesn't owe me a blessed thing. I owe it to the planet. God let me be here. God let you be here. So I owe it to the people around me to be the best that I can be. I owe it to my grandkids. I owe it to the kids in my family who aren't necessarily mine, that are coming in via blended family. God put them in my life. I owe it to them. God put them in my ministry. I owe it to them. We owe the world something. The world, mentally strong people, they don't feel like the world owes them anything. Questions, comments, concerns? I know I went on a rant and I probably lost all kind of viewers and everything else, but I'm just telling you the truth. Impact and growth is not about reaching up. It's about reaching out. That's what growth is. Is the world better because you're in it? The person you're dating, are they a better person because you're dating them? Are they a better person because you're dating them? Are you worshiping together? Are you praying together? Are you so caught up in your feelings that you got to have things your way all the time? And you worrying about what other people are saying and thinking about you. Let me help all of you on here. Nobody's thinking about us but us. All right? Am I right to hear? Help me out over there. Ain't nobody thinking about nobody else, right? Janae, ain't nobody thinking about you. We think about us. So what kind of impact are we making on the world? I don't know. I said a whole lot. Joyce Smith says this. I heard it said this way. Service is the price you pay for your space on earth. That's right. It's the price you pay. It's the rent you pay for your time here. Are you paying the rent? Thank you, Sister Smith, for saying that. One of the most loving, caring, and serving people I know, and she's part of the Cornerstone Community Church. Thank you for being who you are. She serves. She's paying the rent for being on the planet. All right, questions, comments, concerns before I get to 13. Pretty Pink Chocolate says this. I know it's a trick from the devil. Okay. Tahir Jefferson says, I believe we can do this, especially when we are operating under the Spirit of God. Amen, sister. Jersey Girl says this. Like the song says, the world can't get much better if we just let it be. Can't get much better if we just let it be. All right. Pretty Pink Chocolate says this. Working a full-time job and part-time job to reach my goal by October. Okay. All right. So what are you doing? Do you feel like the world owes you something? Because it does not. The world doesn't owe you. Now, listen, and man, I'm going over in a rant. Somebody said, well, you don't understand what I've been through. You don't understand I had a horrific childhood. That's part of your story. That's part of the story. It's part of your impact in the world. You grab somebody and talk to somebody. Hey, listen, I went through the same thing. Let me pour back into you. All right. The Sixth Sense. Come on, Kair. I went off on that roll. Kair's about to read the Sixth Sense of the day. Dear Sixth Sense crew. Now, this portion and for my boy Brian Sharper just checked in. This portion of the program, somebody writes a letter to us, and we kind of put our 6 cents in about. It's usually a crazy situation that I look at and I'm like, man, I don't even know how people get themselves in that type of situation. But we give our little 6 cents, and you can too. Go ahead, Kyra.
Dear Six Sense crew, my husband and I live in a side-by-side duplex. The small backyard is divided by a low fence, and we each have our side. New people recently moved into the unit next to us. They totally redone their backyard. They put hammocks, wind chimes, trampolines, etc. The trampoline has been located up against my side of the fence and about 15 feet from my kitchen. They have 3 kids who understandably are crazy from being cooped up in the house during the pandemic. But I'm working at home and I cannot peacefully enjoy my backyard or concentrate on my work when kids are bouncing and screaming 15 feet from my table. I genuinely like these people. They just seem oblivious to the considerations required when you live in such a close proximity to your neighbor. Do I have to just suck it up?
Buy a house.
That's a great question. Go ahead. Today you go first, but go ahead. Go first.
Yeah, she's just gonna have to deal with it. I mean,
Yeah.
buy a house. Why?
Yeah.
Like,
Kyra,
that's what happens when you live close. You hear your neighbors. Like, that's just it.
Yeah.
The territory.
What do you say, Kyra, to that?
I don't think that she needs to suck it up, because at the end of the day, she's working, from home, and you can't have any background noise and stuff. So she can just kindly tell her neighbors, like, I don't know if she's going to like keep the kids in from certain hours or something, or move the trampoline to a different side. I don't know, but they can figure it out. But
yeah. How can you not enjoy the laughter of children? I'm just, maybe I'm in a different place in my life now. I cannot enjoy the laughter of children. And if I have to work, and I get it, I have to work, I'm not afraid to pack up and go to a workspace location, which they do exist. Matter of fact, I work better at other workplaces than I do at home. So if she has a good relationship with her neighbor, she could mention it. But remember, part of growth, this is where I'm gonna mess with y'all. Part of growth is to see it from the other person's perspective.
Yeah.
How would you feel as a neighbor and somebody's telling you, you got to shut up them kids?
Right. From the hours of 9 to 5, I'm working. So if you can just keep kids quiet.
Remember, part of growth, you're going to answer, listen, part of growth is seeing it from the other person's perspective. This show, because I didn't finish last week, this show was almost entitled, and I'm doing it next week. I'm going to teach you some ways on how to not take it personally.
Yeah.
All right. That was supposed to be this week's show, but that's next week's show on how to not take things personally. So, which is a great 6 cents. Thank you for that, Janae. I'm putting myself away from, okay, so me and my wife, we ain't got no kids. All right. Whatever the case may be. Everybody's working from home. Let me take myself out of myself and put it in the perspective of the children. I'm not going to be that neighbor to tell y'all not to enjoy y'all trampoline. That's just me, because I know you're younger and I'm older, and I always want you to remember me as the nice guy who lived next door. And when I saw Mr. Graves carrying his luggage, I helped him. When his snow needed shoveling, I might even ask the kid, I'll be over there. Yeah, y'all be careful, whatever the case may be. But always put yourself in the other person's perspective. Very good 6 cents. I don't know how a person would handle it, but I would handle it gently. I would handle it.
If you had to,
go ahead.
If you had to mention it, I wouldn't expect anything to change.
Yeah, and we're talking about kids. We're not talking about a dog barking.
Yeah, like they're kids.
Right. We're not talking about, can you shut your dog up? That's different. All right. If your dog's barking that much, you need to walk it anyway. But we're talking about children. So good stuff. My mom says over here, suck it up and move back. Mom said, suck it up and move back to your husband's side. Well, old school don't play, do they? Oh, suck it up. Where about them kids over there laughing? All right. So thank you for that. Question of the day was, what's the most important component of a successful relationship. You guys chimed in on that. That's great. And we talked about that. All right, here's number 3. Number 13, number 3. Mentally strong people do not expect immediate results. Mentally strong people don't expect immediate results. My father used to tell me like this. He said, son, took you about 6 or 7 years to get messed up. It's going to take you about 6 or 7 years to get yourself together. You just keep working to get yourself together. Mentally strong people, I don't know why we think we can get out of something immediately. It took us years of bad habits to get there. It's going to take you a few years of good habits. What I talk about in Unstoppable, intelligent practice. It takes you years of good habits to get out of that. So mentally strong people don't expect immediate results. Self-growth develops slowly, y'all. Slowly. Whether you're trying to shed your procrastination tendencies or improve your marriage, expecting instant results will lead you to disappointment, and then you'll quit. Think of your efforts as a marathon, not a sprint. There is something about consistency. Consistency is king. Just stay at it. Consistency is queen. Just stay at it. Stay consistent. If you're trying to lose weight, stay consistent. If you want to go to the gym and get stronger, stay consistent. Just don't stop. I think a lot of entertainers have said it. It took me 20 years to become an overnight success. They stayed consistent for 20 years. Stayed consistent. Mentally strong people don't expect immediate results, right? You need all the mental strength you can muster at some point in your life, whether it's the loss of a loved one, financial hardship, or a major health problem. Mental strength will give you the resilience to push through the challenges. By not getting immediate results, you develop a mental strength that gives you the resilience, like I just said, to push through life's challenges. You ever wonder why some people fall apart as soon as something happens? When I mean fall apart, bad temper, you fell apart, right? Somebody is cussing you out and flipping out on people. You don't know how to handle what had just happened. You're not strong. You fell apart because you don't have the resilience to make it through the conversation. I used to be that guy. Didn't have the resilience to make it through the circumstance, right? And so, but as I learned consistency, I began to build strength so that I could make it through the tough seasons in my life. Whether it's falling apart, once it's losing your temper, maybe it's I can't eat today because I'm depressed. I can't do this because I'm anxious. I'm doing all this kind of stuff, right? No. Stop expecting immediate results and allow it to strengthen your resilience because you need it in this life. You have to learn. I'm talking to the Christians now. You have to learn to depend on Christ. It's not just something you do. You learn it. Y'all remember those songs we used to sing? I'm learning to trust God. I'm learning to lean on God. So have patience with those who don't. And you need to keep learning each and every day. Brian Sharp says this, I'm loving the show. She needs to be a bigger person and change her route before talking to her neighbors. Thank you, Brian. Yeah, thank you, Brian. Brian and I go way back as children, childhood friend of mine. Thank you for taking the time out. Listen to the show, brother. Hope all is well with you and your.
This point, it's like I find it hard not to expect immediate results, but I look for small progresses. Yeah. Almost obsessively.
Okay.
Like I'm not expecting to have fully done the thing or fully mastered the art, but it's like I'm constantly looking to see, am I a little bit better? Am I a little bit closer? Like, and I think that's an extreme on the other side of it. It's still, I still don't think that that's, like that point is a mental weakness, I guess, because it's like, but it's almost like I need those little progresses to even want to keep the consistency up.
Yeah, you do.
So I'm not looking for the immediate big payoff, but I'm constantly like, did I progress any bit? Like,
but the key is, even when you don't see those little progressions, is to continue to stay at it. Maybe change up the way you do it, but continue to stay in it and at it, because it eventually shapes up. Like, why do we not? That's probably, I'm running out of time, only 6 minutes left. That's probably another great topic for a show. We things get hard, and the first thing we do is throw in the towel, or we can't seem to make it through. I'm playing the guitar, right? And I have the hardest time with 5-finger chords. Don't know why. I can't shape I'm great with 3-finger chords. I can't shape my hand to get and I feel so inadequate. Now, for some of you guys, you're like, oh, you sound pretty good. I suck. I can't get the 5-finger chords down. So do I quit or do I stay at it? I know that one day it's going to click. One day it's going to come together. So I have to stay, and it's just me talking. But Janae, no, going back to what you're saying is that no, you can't, even though you don't see the tiny progressions moving along. They might be tinier than tiny, if that's the thing. But because you're staying at it, you are moving the bar. And one day it's going to click. Here's the funny thing about results, guys. Other people see results in us quicker than we see results in ourselves. That's the thing. You're struggling with it, but other people see the results quicker than we see ourselves. Mentally strong people do not expect immediate results. All right. So hopefully, guys, quick review, 13 things mentally strong people don't do. And I hope this program helped you out. Next week, we're going to talk about why or how not to take everything personally. But here's 13 things mentally people don't do. We did it over the last 2 weeks. They don't waste time feeling sorry for themselves. They don't give away their power through their emotions. They don't shy away from change. They're not afraid to change. They don't squander they don't squander energy on things they can't control. You can't control that it's raining outside. What you upset about it for? They don't worry about pleasing everybody. Mentally strong people don't worry about pleasing everybody. Mentally strong people don't fear taking risks. They don't fear taking a risk, a nice calculated risk. Mentally strong people don't dwell on the past. You can't have a new nice relationship because you're still mad about the last one, or you can't enter into partnership in business because you're still married. It's just craziness. But mentally strong people don't dwell on the past. Mentally strong people don't repeat their mistakes. They made a mistake. They don't keep repeating it. Mentally strong people don't resent other people's success. Matter of fact, they realize it's healthy. If I rejoice in your success, it's healthy for me. Mentally, it lifts me up and everything else. Number 10, they don't give up at their first failure. Remember, there's no such thing as failure, only results. Only results. You didn't fail. It's just that what you were doing didn't produce the results that you wanted, but we don't give up there. They don't fear alone time. Some of the best lessons you'll learn are by yourself. What are you reading? What are you listening to? Are you meditating? Are you praying? Are you reevaluating? Are you doing with what Dawn Moss said? Are you writing your goals? Are you coming up with a different plan? What are you doing? Mentally strong people don't feel that the world owes them something. No, they learn to serve. I talked about Joy Smith watching this program here. She serves. She don't think the world owes her anything. She serves. And the world will give you some stuff you won't deserve if you serve correctly. Like, wow, how did I get here? This is awesome. Because you serve. And finally, number 13, mentally strong people do not expect immediate results. There is no magic potion. There is no magic potion. There's consistency. There's work. There's seeing things from other people's perspective. That's what personal growth is. That's all I got for you guys today. Hey, share it with somebody. I hope this helps somebody. I really did. Guys, we'll be here again next Wednesday. Now, listen, guys, go look for me. Look for my podcast. Look at my podcast. I have this woman that I talked to on my podcast this week. She was a refugee. Her husband died on her honeymoon. 5 days in, her husband dies of an aneurysm. You're talking about being unstoppable. She was a war refugee, born and raised in Morocco. You got to go over there and listen to this podcast with her. I got plenty of other podcasts on there. I got plenty of other. I think we're over. We have 40, 50 now, 40 something podcasts posted, and these are unstoppable people. Right? Go check them out. because you're unstoppable as well. And let these stories bless you. Remember, if you have a relationship with Christ, he's standing with his arms wide open. I got to say this. I got 1 minute left. God is not trying to put you in a penalty box. When you surrender yourself to God, it's not a penalty box he puts you in. It's not a penalty box. He liberates you. He liberates you so that you can be all that God has called you to be through a relationship with his son, Jesus the Christ. My name is Pastor Ralph Graves Jr. Thank you for being part of this program. Any final words, ladies?
Get your fiber in.
Get your fiber in. Have a good day. You guys have an awesome day, an awesome week. We'll see you again next week. Next week, we're talking about why you shouldn't take everything personally. We'll talk about that next week. God bless you. See you then.